Thank you for tuning into my videos. To support the channel and unlock exclusive perks, you can join us on YouTube channel membership and Patreon. Follow the links in the video description below. Select your level of support and help keep the content coming. This channel exists because of the support we have from fans just like you. Thanks and enjoy the video. Right, I was going to say welcome to another episode, but it's not. Welcome to our first episode of Warhammer 30,000. So, Mitch Farrington's come along. He's been pestering me for years. Yeah, to play Warhammer 30K, so it's really good. So, it's exclusively 40k on the channel, but we're going to dabble here or play a game at least of Warhammer 30k. He's brought along 2 complete armies. This is a 2,500 points battle. Ultramarines versus Solar Auxilia. So I am semi-familiar with the rules. They are a ghost of previous editions of 40k, so there'll be some familiarity there. Mitch will be the specialist though in this game. He's going to guide us through the rules. I'm going to take command of the Ultramarines here in this game, and then Mitch is going to run the Solar Auxilia. So we're going to let him run through both of these lists here for this battle. So it's a chance to play another type of game, another system, just to, not necessarily to have a break from 40k, but just to try something else out. And there have been people saying in the comment section for years, you need to play Warhammer 30k. So that's what we're going to do here in this episode. If you like this idea of branching out into different gaming systems, do give us a thumbs up and leave a comment. It's much appreciated. We'll let Mitch run through this Ultramarines force.
Right, so this is 2,500 points of Ultramarines with some Mechanicum allies. It's about 500 points of Mechanicum and 2,000 points of Ultramarines. So for our HQ choices, we've got a Praetor here, and he's leading his Invictus Suzerain command squad. So they've got a few upgrades. There's a couple of Thunderhammers and a banner. He's also got a few upgrades like a Nemesis Bolter and a Ultramarine unique melee weapon. For my second HQ, there is a Herald in Cataphracti Terminator armour. He will probably be going, although it's up to Luke, with this Terminator squad, which is an elite's choice. They've all got Volkite guns, and there's 3 Thunderhammers and 3 Power Mauls. For other elites, we've got a Contemptor Dreadnought with a twin-linked las cannon, or a Gravis las cannon, I think it's called. We've got a Castaferum Dreadnought, or a Boxnaut, with the double las cannon loadout. There's a couple of apothecaries in these squads here. So there's one here and one here. And these are just inside your bog standard tactical marine squad with no upgrades. And they're all in rhinos. The command squad or the Terminators, again up to Luke, can go in the Land Raider over in the corner, which has got the all las cannon loadout. For heavy support, we've got a heavy support squad with Volkite. There's 5 guys in here. And another 5-man heavy support squad, all with las cannons. For the Mechanicum, We've got a Magos, I think that's how it's pronounced. He's got a few upgrades like a Volkite Serpenter and a Conversion Beamer. There's a squad of Thalax infantry. There are 2 multi-melters in that squad. I think one here and one here. And then for another troops choice, we've got a Castellax Battle Automata, which has the power blades and a multi-melter on the top. I'm pretty sure that is everything.
Yeah, okay. Now I'm recognising these. And the great thing about 30k is all the new plastic kits, especially for vehicles that came out.
Yeah, they used to all be resin. Now most of this is plastic.
Which is great news. It's good investment from Games Workshop. And I'm going to pick up a few of the models here. So if you're like me, you won't be so familiar with these areas. This one is
It's a Castellax.
Very cool. Circular blades, nice. Why can't the regular AdMech get stuff like that? And then we'll pick up this guy here. He feels like he's resin. No,
He's resin, yeah.
Okay.
So the original model for that is a Sons of Horus character. I think he's called Tybalt Mar or something like that. And I've just cut off all the iconography and put Ultramarine stuff on instead.
Now, I have to say, I do like the 30k versions of vehicles such as the Rhino. The Predators look really nice compared to the 40k ones.
You can use all those in 40k and there'd be no reason stopping you.
Yes, there is some crossover. There's the Land Raider. Now, another question I've got, just a bit of hobby time here. The dust that you're using on these bases looks really good. Is that like a pigment stuff?
Yeah, it's the it's very old. It's the old Forge World Martian Rust pigment powder.
Oh,
so
really?
normally what I do is I just paint the base brown, give it like an Agrax wash, get a big paintbrush and a tub so that it doesn't go everywhere, and just put on as much of this Martian dust as I can, and then tap the base, get all the loose stuff off. For the vehicles, did the same thing again, just cram it all into like the recesses along here, for example, and then give it a matte varnish to try and hold it in. But when you do the varnish, it tends to really dye it down a bit, so you might have to go over it again.
Just to brighten it again. Yeah, okay. It looks very effective. Very nice indeed. Okay, so that's the list here for the Ultramarines. We'll cross to the other side of the board and take a look at the Solar Auxilia. Alright, so 2,500 points of Solar Auxilia. Usually you're saying at tournaments it's like 3k for a game?
Yeah, most of the time people play in 3k.
Right.
Yeah.
And 30k is a little bit more easy going than 40k. It's a lot more narrative sort of players and collectors.
It's definitely less competitive, although there are competitive events that you can go to if that's your thing.
Okay, take it away. What have we got?
Where to start? So we've got the HQ choice here. So this is a Legate Marshal. He unlocks several options for your army, such as doctrines, but I'll explain all that later in the game. He is with a squad, like a command squad, who has a captain inside, but there's no upgrades really. You just keep it cheap because they die so easily. They've also got a medic with them. So for Elite's choice, we've got a Velatara Stormtrooper squad. They've all got Volkite guns, and again, they've got the medic with them. More elites over here. We've got a big blob of 9 Ogrins, however you pronounce it. We've got a Cyclops demolition vehicle unit of 3. These are like remote control bombs. So you drive them up. This is the controller. They drive up and they blow up.
Cool.
For troops, we've got 2 Tercios, which is kind of like a platoon if you played Imperial Guard before, similar kind of thing. So there's the first one here and the second one here. Each one has 20 guys in it. So when you make reactions in the game, if this squad was charged, for example, the whole unit or your friendly unit can all overwatch together against the attacking unit. For heavy support, we've got 3 Leman Russ Vanquishers with las cannons in the hull. We've got a Malcador with a battle cannon, a demolisher cannon, and a couple of las cannons on the side. My Lord of War option is a Macarius Vulcan with the big Gatling cannon in the turret. And then a couple of fast attack slots. We've got the Arvus Lighter, which is the new plastic kit from Games Workshop.
Nice.
I think that's pretty much it. There's no real upgrades for this army. Just keep it bare bones. Don't chuck too much on it because it all dies so quickly.
Right. And you're saying things die faster in 30k. It's quite brutal.
Yeah, sometimes, especially in close combat, if some of those elite choices for the Ultramarines get into combat with these guys, they stand no chance whatsoever. They'll be wiped out instantly.
Right. So I'm going to pick up a few of these models. Now you're saying that all of these along here, resin.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Have they? But they've redone these in plastic, no?
They have done them in plastic. I do have some plastic ones, but I'm probably going to stick to the resin ones as I prefer. They're slightly smaller, so they're kind of a more realistic scale in comparison to Space Marines.
Oh, right, okay.
So I'm probably going to stick to the resin ones. I've got a whole bunch more of these resin ones at home that aren't finished yet, so we can do a comparison between the plastic and resin ones later if you want. So they're in the box over there.
There's strange folk here. As the hobbits would say. These are very cool, the mini demolition tanks. Inspired by World War II, right? With
the Germans used a remote control mine called a Goliath.
Goliath, that's right, yeah. And this, James has this one with the Vanquisher turret. Mitch also has the Vanquisher turret, but he's gone for the Vulcan heavy bolters, aren't they?
Vulcan Gatling cannon, I think it's called.
Yeah, okay. And again, using the same dust again on these tracks.
Yeah, so I just get a big paintbrush, ram it all on there, and then varnish it to try and hold it on.
The flyers, very nice indeed. And they're like transport vehicles, those things.
They are, yeah. So, for example, this squad gives buffs to most of your army by using like a Vox network, similar to Imperial Guard. So you can put this unit in one of these, keep it off the table so it doesn't get killed, and it can still give the leadership buff to your army while it's off the table.
Cool.
So to keep it alive as long as possible, you don't bring it in. It's mainly there just to provide the leadership buff to keep your guys from running.
And very briefly, why are the Ultramarines fighting against these?
Well, the humans in 30K were split between traitors and loyalists, so Solar Auxilia can fight for either side. Okay,
so there was, because I'm familiar with Dark Mechanicum, no, is that?
There is Dark Mechanicum. Don't think they have rules yet though, but they do for Legions Imperialis if you've played that. Right. There's some new stuff coming out.
Okay, but these aren't Dark Mechanicum, they're just like traitor.
Just traitor guard, basically. Traitor solo, yeah. Okay.
So that's the list for both sides. We have gold level Patreons, 5 each, supporting these two armies. So I'll call out their names now. So they're Patronic dice that can be called upon at some point during the game. And a big thank you to everyone that supports us at gold level on the Patreon page. So with the Solar Auxilia, we have Carl Roden, Mitch Notke for Rob, Gavin, Dave Humphries, and Darth Windu. And then for the Space Marines, we have Michael Fryer, Sam Hermes, Longbow BB, Maxwell Knuckles, and Nate Miller. So then we have a commander and sub-commander allocated here for the Phoenix Lords and for the Autarchs. So I'm going to call out the names and then Mitch can allocate them for us. So for the Ultramarines, Midnight Miniatures. This will be on the commander. So who would that be for the Ultramarines?
That's the guy.
Yes, that one. Okay, that's the one I picked up earlier on. Okie dokie. Okay, and then we have a sub-commander, which is Alexander Stillwar, a second in command.
That's the Herald.
The banner.
The banner, yeah.
Fine, no problem. And then they can track their models during the game. And then for the Solar Auxilia, a commander, Darth Windu.
That's the guy right at the front.
Him?
Nope, to the right of him. Him.
This little guy here. There you go. If you've never seen Darth Windu before, there he is. Okay. And then the second in command, Ite Miara.
Here for this behind guy. Him to the left. Guy on the end. Yep, him.
Him, really? Okay, second in command. This one here. Not this chap.
No, he's just like a medic.
Oh, right, okay. All right. So that's commander and sub-commander allocated. Looks like they're together there in that unit. So army's ready to go. We'll take a look at the scenario and deployment next. All right, so we have a mission, deployment zones and objectives all sorted out. I'm going to let Mitch run through this one here just to give us an idea of the game.
So the mission we rolled, I think it's called War of Lies. It was option 6. So there's 5 objectives, 1 in the very middle, and then 2 each placed down by me and Luke. At the end of the game, you roll on a table to determine the value of each objective. So you don't really know what to do until the end of the game. So, you could be holding 4 of them, but roll 1s for it, and then your opponent rolls a 6 and he wins because his one's worth more points.
Interesting.
And then there's also like VPs for destroying units and Slay the Warlord as well. But it's pretty basic.
All right, I'll pick out the objectives here in deployment zones. So the blue dice being used here for the Solar Auxilia, and then across the other side of the board, here the Ultramarines, their deployment zone marked by the Xenos dice here. And then we have 5 objectives on the board. Mitch has already pointed out the one dead centre, just on top of the AdMech terrain. There are 4 others, one just here, just outside, or virtually on the line of the deployment zone for the Ultramarines. One up on top here, one just in amongst these containers and cargo, and there was one other one, yeah, it's just tucked around over there in no man's land. So that's the deployment zones. We're fighting diagonally here in this game. Objectives with a random value that we discover at the end of the battle. So big incentive to grab as many objectives as possible, but no guarantees of these objectives. They could be virtually useless or worthless, or they could carry a great prize. They're just D6 victory points each.
I think so. Oh, it might be D3. 1 victory point, 5 to 6, 3 victory points.
All right, okay. So on a 1 or a 2, it's 0 points. So it is actually worthless. On a 3 to 4, it's worth a point, and then 5 or 6, it's worth a fixed 3 victory points. So yeah, random enough for sure. It's definitely an incentive to pick up and hold to the end of the battle as many objectives as possible. We'll now start. I was going to say alternating place units on the board, but it's not. For this, it's deploying the entire army, and then the opponent reacts and deploys theirs. One other point available: if a Lord of War is destroyed, the Ultramarines have none. The Solar Auxilia have 1 across here, so an extra point available if that thing's destroyed. Also, Solar Auxilia to deploy first. They're going to go over in that corner. Just to mention the Batamat and terrain that we're using in this game. So Batamat is from GameMet.eu. This one's 6x4 in size, which is what we need for Warhammer 30K, Sands of Time. And then we're combining it with pre-painted terrain from GameMet.eu. So it's the Rocky base set, and that matches in really well with the Desert Rocks sets. Those 2 sets combined have filled out most of this board. So you can check out GameMet.eu for suppliers of Batamats, all shapes and sizes. Double-sided mats available from them as well. And then the pre-painted terrain sets, a wide variety of those also. And these have come straight out of the box here and been able to use them on this desert board. So link below. There's also a discount code for 11% off across the store, and they are shipping worldwide. All right, so deployment's done for both sides. As mentioned, for 30k at the moment, it's one army deploys entirely, and the other army deploys in response. Now that affects who goes first, doesn't it? Yeah, I try and seize initiative.
You can, yeah. So I would normally be going first, but if you roll a 6, you can.
Yeah, this is all triggering faded memories of previous editions of 40k, so there will be some familiarity. I'm going to lean heavily on Mitch, obviously, for help with the rules, and there'll be some explanations of different stages as we go along. So if you're not so familiar with 30k, we'll guide you through some of the mechanics of the game. So you can call this out here for your deployment.
So, okay. So we've got 1 las rifle tercio here. So this is 40 guys in 2 units. So as I was saying earlier, if, for example, an Ultramarine unit charged into this unit, I can declare an overwatch as a reaction, and both squads can overwatch, even though it's only the 1 unit that's been charged.
Sure.
The next unit is here. So we've got 20 guys in the building. Their accompanying unit is here. We've got our Ogrin blob in the middle. We've got my Cyclops demolition vehicles hiding around the back, just waiting until something gets near. We've got the Malcador over in the far corner, the Macarius in the centre, and then my Lehman Russ. Well, it's not a squadron; it's a tercio again, very similar to the infantry here on the end.
Oh right, so hold on a second. So if you overwatch, all 3 can.
Oh no, these can't overwatch.
Oh right, okay.
So the way it works is in Solar Auxilia, you buy you spend your points on tercios, so you can technically get 9 Lehman Russes in 3 squadrons of 3 for 1 heavy support slot.
Right.
So you could bring 27 Lehman Russes if you really wanted to.
Okay.
Which is ludicrous.
Okay.
And then my 2 flyers in reserve, they have to start in reserve.
Yes.
As per the rules.
Right, and they've got a unit in each of those.
Yeah, so we've got command squad in 1 and the Volkite squad in the other.
And something else I've seen that brings back such memories. These. I remember these. And the Flamer templates from previous editions of 40k. Ghosts of the past. For sure. All right, so that's the deployment done for the Solar Auxilia. So I'll attempt to call out my deployment here. I've put tactical squads. with apothecaries in rhinos, 1 and 2. Got a heavy weapons team here. This is the anti-infantry squad with their 35-inch range.
45.
45, those guys. What are they called?
Heavy support squad with Volkite weapons. It is the Volkite Culverin.
Okay. Contingent of...
So that's Mechanicum. So these are the Thalax, which are like jump troops, and then he's got a Castellax with his Magos behind, who can repair him in the...
Okay. I've kind of split into 2 blocks here, just making use of terrain. And then I've got a Lascan team. I'm familiar with those, that's fine. Terminator's been joined by the Banner on foot. Land Raider. Inside that, I've put the command squad for the Ultramarines, which is quite tasty apparently in close combat, and then you can see the 2 tactical squads inside the Rhino. The 2 Dreadnoughts across here. Part of the reasoning behind this is to try and blindside the Vanquisher cannons across the other side with their dangerous firepower. I've been warned about them, how good potentially they can be. For terrain, this seems to be quite open for like agreement between players for 30k, but we're playing obscuring terrain on these. We'll just go by the hard edge for this piece, this one, not this, that piece across there, this whole piece. So going from the hard edge on these edges here, just to create a bit of line of sight blocking terrain in the middle. This piece, but not the containers. The same here for this piece, and this one, and that one, and not those across there. And there's a few barricades and so on scattered around the board. So terrain set, both armies ready to go. So then we roll up for initiative. We roll to seize initiative, which I would like to try and do. So I guess it's optional.
It is optional, yeah.
And I will do something that perhaps I've never done before. I'll roll an Ultramarines dice. Glory. It works. I've seized it. Okay. All right. So go on to turn 1. Right. So how many turns in the game of 30k?
5, and then you roll for 6.
6. Fine. All right. We'll go on to the first turn of the game. Ultramarines have seized initiative. We're going to turn 1 for them next. Okay, so turn 1 here for the Ultramarines. Just a quick question, don't need to spend long on this one, but is my deployment any good?
Yeah, remaining out of line of sight, especially from this, is very good. These are
Vanquishers.
one of the best units in the game.
Right.
Especially bearing in mind the fact that Solar Auxilia aren't that good anyway. I mean, there are combinations you can do to make your army good, but definitely up there with...
Okay. And the basics, so just for those watching from 40k to 30k, add movement phase.
Movement phase, you run your initiative, I think. So most of your units will be initiative 4. If you run, you can't shoot unless you have rules that say otherwise.
Okay.
Most of your guys are movement 7. Your Terminators are slightly slower because they're in Cataphract's eye armor.
Sure.
Your taller Dreadnought, the Contemptor, he moves 8. The smaller one moves 5 or 6, so I'll have to double check. Your vehicles have all got unique movement distances as well.
Yes.
It's all pretty similar, really.
Okay. And when's the charge phase? Same kind of thing as 40k?
Same thing
after
as 40k,
shooting.
so after you're shooting.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll press on. We'll make some moves here. Right, so movement done. We're pressing ahead with the attack on both flanks. So Dreadnoughts pushing through. Here, one or both stepping to their left. Land Raider pushing forwards quite quick, actually, 12-inch move. Terminators of Ren. Running for them is your regular move, which in their case is 5 inches, and you add your initiative in inches to it, which is 4. So a total of 9 inches with those.
Sorry, Luke, it's 6 inches for those.
6, sorry, yeah, I did move the 6, that's fine. And then add las cannon team, holding position on the objective, and they're really pushing out on the right-hand side. So you can move rhinos, transport vehicles out, and you can disembark afterwards. So similar to 10th, which I've done with both of those just to lay down some firepower. Rhinos moving 14.
Yeah.
So they're quicker, a bit quicker in 30k, and the jumping up and over the terrain. And then the heavy weapons team with the Volkite weaponry, making a run move. They're not going to shoot this turn, but pushing through. So an attack on both flanks, a pincer maneuver here with the Ultramarines. A few little quirks to point out. It's different with weapons. For 10th edition, you get line of sight, you fire all your weapons at the target. For this one, for 30k at the moment, it is firing arcs. So I take it's 90 degrees, 45 degrees here at this one. At 180 probably, like going around like this with the laser cannon. So you're actually physically pointing guns at physical targets with your weaponry. So Land Raider, for example, I can see in 10th edition, the front of this could see that. I could fire all my weapons, but not so the case. It's firing arcs for each individual weapon on the vehicle, so we'll keep that in mind as we go into the shooting phase next. So just a correction on movement. We're looking at the rules here for rhinos or for transport vehicles. So you can go up to half your move. So I've pushed these back and gone and done a 7-inch move of each of these. You can then make a full move for your disembarkation. You can't charge, but I can shoot as normal. Measuring from my access points, so measuring not from the tip, but from the door here, or the back door, whatever door you want to use. So 6 inches out, and I've been able to form these up in ranks here. And then moving out 6 inches, similar kind of thing with the second rhino. So, okay, interesting. So that's done correctly, we believe. Obviously, let us know in the comment section below if you see any rules, clarifications, errors, and heresy, and so on. Okay, so we'll go on to shooting phase next. So we'll start with something which I think I know what I'm doing. I'm going to fire 5 las cannons into the Vanquisher across there. Good?
Yeah, so you hit on 3s, because your ballistic skill 4.
Right, so this is the old chart where you take a ballistic skill and it gives you what you need to score. Mm-hmm. The higher your weapon skill and ballistic skill, the more easier it is to hit.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So 3s then. I'm going to bless this with a Patreon as well. We'll turn to Maxwell Knuckles for this one. So 3s. It's triple 1. No reroll ones?
Don't think so.
Okay. Right, 2 hits coming through. So we're running on different previous mechanics now. So I'm trying to wind you.
So no, right. So my front armor is armor value 14. Your strength 9, which means you need 5s to glance, 6 to penetrate. But you have a rule called Sunder, which is reroll fails.
Fine. 5 ups. And we'll reroll. Got 1 pen.
Penetrating hit. Okay, so you roll on the vehicle damage chart.
Yes.
Which I will find in the book somewhere.
Find in the book. That's one of the marks of 30k is books.
Poorly laid out books.
Thick books. Okay, we'll give Mitch. I'm going to give you 20 minutes to find it, and then we'll come back to it. He's found it. There's no rule summary at the back of the book either. But anyway, we'll roll up. High is good, I presume.
High is good, yeah.
Oh,
1.
Come on, reroll.
No. So a 1 to 3 is crew shaken. Because you're AP2, you also add 1 to your roll. But it's still only a 2. So this vehicle can only fire snapshots till the end of its next turn.
Right, so it disrupts him a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, I'm just taking memories back to previous editions. There's a number of wounds, like a vehicle has 3 wounds?
Yeah, so they're called hull points.
Hull points, correct, yes.
I believe Limerasis have 4.
Yeah, so you'll lose 1. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll lose 1. I'll put a dice on it so I don't forget.
That's fine.
So I've lost.
And I have to say, this mechanic for shooting, front armor, trying to penetrate, I always preferred compared to the current wound system for 40k. Just comparing, having played both, I've always liked this way of trying to get around the side armor and so on. The instant results, because Mitch has been saying stuff can die pretty quick. For example, that las cannon, if I roll really well, I don't pop it.
If you rolled a 6, it would have blown me up.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
And that will give this unit re-rolls to hit because it's within 6 inches.
Yes.
So
Okay.
if I get that up on here for you.
Maybe I can fire the rear one first. There's a rule here where you get, similar to the tower, where you can fire a unit. If it hits, it will give the other unit +1 to hit rolls, which is very, very useful. So I'm going to go with the rhinos first to try and assist the firepower coming from the tactical squads.
So that's within 6 inches. So you're in range. You can see me. So
one shot with the combi bolter. Just trying to get the hit.
you hit.
Hit, okay.
Yeah,
and what do I do now? Try and wound you.
Try and win me. So you're strength 4. I'm toughness 3. So it's freeze to wound. You
I
wound.
wound.
I will take 1 armor save.
Your armor save is a...
It's 4+. So
yes.
I'm fine.
I was going to say, because I'm AP 5, which means anything that's armor save 5 or worse is auto killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
or
fine.
takes a wound. Yeah, no armor saves allowed.
Yeah. So Rhino's done its job. We'll then move on to the squad, which will get +1 to hit rolls, and they'll offload everything that they can into the Mechanicum squad. Sorry, Solar Auxilia squad.
Mm-hmm. So you're range 24. So everyone's in. So you get 10 shots. There's no rapid fire.
Right.
Because you're too far away. So
okay.
So hitting on 2s.
Hitting on 2s. Awful lot of 1s on these Ultramarine dice, Mitch. 3s to wound.
Yeah.
And 3. Mitch will get 3 saves because the AP is not strong enough. 4 ups. Oh, they do roll bad. Okay.
I won't take the sergeant away.
Right, I'm just going to rinse and repeat with the next squad. I think maybe I'll go, whilst they can see, if you're taking casualties from the edge, we'll have a go with those jump pack Mechanicum models.
18, strength 4, heavy 3, reroll wounds. And you're hitting
heavy
on 3. Hitting on 4s.
Okay, firing arc weaponry here.
Oh no, 3s. Hitting on 3s. Wow. Okay.
Okay, so it's like a lightning type weapon here, anti-infantry. There's 2 profiles. I've chosen the anti-infantry one. Hitting on 3s.
So you get 3 shots each, Luke. Have you done?
Yeah. 3.
Should be 18.
3.
Oh no, sorry, because 2 of them have got multi-melters, haven't they?
Yeah.
So 12. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got those hits and our strength.
Your strength 4. I'm toughness 3, so freeze again. You get to re-roll wounds with this because it's got shred.
Nice. Tasty enough. Are they AP4?
No, they're AP nothing on that version. So there's a heavier shot they can fire, which is heavy 1, rending 4+. So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So how many have I got to take?
7.
7.
Do we get victory point for first blood?
Don't think so.
Oh.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4 more die.
Okay, 4 slain. Well, they chose to be traitors.
Choosing to be traitors.
Right. Then we'll rinse and repeat with the Rhino. Just we're looking for a hit with that.
No, but you're a combi gun. A combi
weapon.
What's it called? Twin linked. There we go.
You get to reroll hit rolls, not wound rolls.
So it's reroll hits because you're a combi weapon. Yeah, you're a combi bolter. So.
Failed. Okay. Which means.
Hang on. No, that's not right because this is within 6 inches of this. So
+1 to hit rolls.
+1 to hit, so you would have hit on a 2.
Oh, it's like an aura.
Yeah, it's anybody within 6 inches gains the buff. So
right.
6 inches from that rhino would be.
Well,
you won't be quite in range of the squad. You're about an inch and a half.
Yeah,
out.
so I'll kangaroo it along to the next one.
But yeah, he does.
So that counts as a hit. I'll try and wound you. If you do get a wound, and you can make a save of.
Save of 4+ again. Yeah.
Blocks that one. Okay. This squad across here then 10 shots.
So hitting on 2s again.
Okay.
So when this becomes really powerful is if you don't move and you're in rapid fire range, you can declare what's called Fury of the Legion, which gives you +1 shot, and you're also in rapid fire. So each guy will get 3 shots hitting on 2s.
Right. Okay. Well, sit where you are, and I'll head towards you slowly. Surely. Blanket of firepower coming down. Another 5 wounds coming through. So another 5 saves of 4+. Well done.
Only 1.
Quad 5. So 1 more slain. I think that's my firepower finished. I've hidden him so you can't see anybody. We've done those. We're halfway through. We'll shift across here. Some heavier weapons now. Lots of laser cannons available. Okay, we'll shift to some heavy guns. My laser cannon shot's going to go into this.
So you're hitting on 2s. Contempt of Dreadnought has a ballistic skill 5. So you get 2 shots, yeah.
2 hits.
I'm front armor 13. So 4s to glance, 5s to pen. But again, you have Sunder, so you can re-roll any fails.
Tasty. Come on. Fire up these blue dice. Oh, not today, you're right. Failed. Can't see through here at all. And I reckon he's going to struggle. I'm going to go into the Ogrins, and it's really the only unit I can see with him. 2 shots per las cannon?
2 shots per, yeah. So those little box snorts are pretty good for firepower if you stick las cannons on them.
2s again, I presume.
Yes, I believe so.
It's 3s to wound, I'm presuming here.
Yeah, no, 2s.
Toughness?
Yeah, so it's the old toughness chart. So if you're 1 higher, it's 3s. If you're 2 higher, it's 2s.
Oh, like that?
Yeah.
Right, gotcha. Okay. So 2 go through, and the Ogrins can take...
Let's have a look.
Saves,
so, yeah, you are ballistic skill, weapon skill 5. So yeah, you do hit on 2s.
Yep.
And yes, you do have both arms. Is a Gravis las cannon, which is 2 shots. So yeah, 4 in total. So am I going to get a cover save here then? I suppose.
Surely, yes.
Yeah. So how many was it? Just
2.
So 2 5-ups. No, I take 2 wounds. They've got 3 each. I do have, I believe, a feel no pain, which I think is 6 up. I will double check.
So las cannon is 1 damage.
It's 1 damage against something like that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Fascinating. So they are tanky enough then.
So the Ogrins are good. So shooting las cannons into the Ogrins is not the best use of them, but you can't really see anything else. So
yeah.
Much
interesting. I'll give you my view of 30k as well. The feel of it. The first thing I'm noticing is you are going to get some advantage if you've played previous editions of Warhammer 40,000. There's a lot of rules, obviously, that have been
that was my
retained.
feel no pain, which has failed. So.
Okay, so 2 wounds taken, 1 wound left on them.
Yeah.
They are tanky. Okay. And then we'll go for, we're talking about the angles here, I can't see, so we're going to offload all of our las cannons into the big thing at the back.
Oh, the Macarius.
Yeah, so we're going to him.
Named after a guy who was born 9,000 years after this game, weirdly.
Right. So this is just a twin las cannon, separate.
So the one on the front is just 1 shot twin linked. The ones on the side are 2 shots, I think.
Can I roll them together or separate?
Roll them separate because you'll get... so the 2 on the side will give you 2 shots each. But obviously the one on the front's twin linked, so you want to roll it separate in case you miss.
Gotcha.
So you hit.
Hit. I'll try and roll hits for these.
So 4 hits, yeah.
Roll these together.
I am front armor 13. This has less front armor than these. Don't ask me why.
Okay.
So you've got a pen, a glance, and if you want to re-roll the...
There's another pen. That's from the front one.
You can re-roll the 3 as well, because that's only 12. So 3 pens. No, a glance and 2 pens. So if you roll those 2...
There's a cocktail set.
That's fine.
Sorry.
6.
6. Ooh, boy.
So because I'm a Lord of War,
Yes.
pretty sure there's a separate chart for Lord of War damage. I think it's D3 hull points, but I will double check.
Yes, I think there is, if I remember rightly from previous
If
editions.
that explodes there, that's going to kill a lot of stuff. So,
And how does explosions work? On a 6 or guaranteed to explode or what happens? Sorry, we're overloading Mitch of rules.
Yeah, he's asked me a lot of questions. And I'm a bit
We'll
rusty.
send him to the book here.
Yeah, I'll check the book. It's also explode with a strength 8.
Yeah, if you go to page 295, it's the idea, if you're playing 30k, keep this book by your bed and read a little bit every day.
Yeah, you really should.
Oh, boy.
Where is Lord of War?
I really get the impression that the team that put this together are enthusiasts themselves, like, because it's a labour of love, isn't it? I mean,
Oh yeah, they are nice books. They just tear it out.
beautiful. Look at this, the white scars. Look at that dreadnought. Beautifully done. And amazing now with these plastic kits that are available. You can tap into units that just simply aren't there in 40k. As well as there is some great differences for sure. It is D3 hull points, 2, and the other pen takes you to 3, and then the result of a 4, Mitch says, is +1, which is a result of
So-
5.
So 5 is weapon destroyed. One of the vehicle's battle weapons chosen by the vehicle's controlling player is destroyed. If it has no battle weapons, there's a lot of words here. So basically, it's guns destroyed.
Yeah, but you pick.
I get to pick.
That's
yeah.
all right. Yes, we've got ourselves a result here. So it's a total of 4 hull points out of 6. So it's taken heavy damage. There's no doubt about that. The smaller weapons, which Mitch would have chosen, they count as defensive weapons only, so you can't allocate to them. It's main weapons, and the only main weapon is the twin Gatling cannon on top. So
I've got my cover saves.
cover saves.
Yeah, because I'm obscured, aren't I?
Of course you are. Yeah, no, take them.
So we're going to have to roll these as per what each one of those dice was.
Correct. So that's fine. So you're glancing hit first. Glad you remembered this.
So it's 5 up. Nope.
No. But your penetrating damaged gun.
Nope.
No. And your D3 pen.
No.
No, all right. So the result stands as it was.
Sure, it's a 5 up. Again, I can check while you're doing other stuff.
Checking the rules. It seems to be majority of the time it's a 6-up save for cover, which is pretty tame. We're going to say for the obscuring terrain types, it's going to be a 5-up armor save. I reckon that's fair enough. I think that's the way Mitch usually plays it. He'll check the rules here and we can come back to you on that one. We'll let the result stand as it was. There's a load of 4s being rolled anyway, so the result will remain as it is. Yeah, we're checking the diagrams. 6-up cover save normally. If it's an extreme angle, such as the majority of the vehicle's hidden behind terrain, you're catching the front of it, which is really this situation across, so you do get a 5+ cover save. So that's fine. We're going to play it that way. We'll go by the book on this one. So that means, as we said, it was 4-ups that were rolled, so the result stands. And we, I reckon, have finished shooting. Got no charges to take place, so our turn will come to an end here. So end of our turn, bit different to 40k currently, where we're trying to trade in points constantly from one turn to the next. No points come through at this stage. It's all about holding those objectives at the end of the battle. There's a couple other points you can pick up, such as for destroying that thing across there, slaying the warlord as well, another point available. Those can be picked up, but really the victory we calculated at the end of the battle. And Mitch has checked as well. This specific mission is a 6-turn game. It's fixed at 6 turns. We're going to turn 1 next for the Solar Auxilia. So turn 1 for the Solar Auxilia. Just a rules clarification here. Turn 1 is night fighting rules, which again I remember from previous editions. So limited up to range 24, unless you've got searchlights. We're going to keep the firepower results from here because these units all have it. The only effect really for us, the only corrections to do is their firepower. They would have been range 24. So we have removed the result from the Vanquisher tank there at the back. So that's all fine, that's clarified. And obviously searchlights as night fighting rules are going to be done for the Solar Auxilia. So they can press on with their move. During this game, I'm going to express some opinions. The opinions are my own, not necessarily the opinions of Mitch or Games Workshop or anyone else out there, but just comparing what I'm used to with the current edition of 40k and then comparing it with 30k the way it runs at the moment. That's part of the intent of this video, just to compare the two gaming systems together. One thing I've noticed as well is your transition over to turns is smoother. I finished my turn, now it's your turn, whereas with 40k it's drawing secondaries, figuring out your plan with your army, how you're going to react to those. I've noticed that's just a bit smooth. You've got your overall game plan in mind, and you can just focus a lot more on that, as opposed to hopping around trying to fulfill different secondaries. So that's more disruptive, a bit more smoother here, I think, for 30k. By all means, I'm going to express some views. You can let us know what you think of different aspects of both games in the comments section below. So movement's complete for the Solar Auxilia. Mitch can call out any. That result wasn't put on, so it's going to stay where it is instead of moving to here. It's ready to shoot.
So the only things I've really done was I moved this unit here. I moved half my move distance so that I can still fire my las rifles on this unit. That's a Solar Auxilia unique ability. These guys have pulled back slightly. The Ogrins have moved up. Other than that, I've basically stayed. Oh, and obviously the Leman Russ.
They've shifted to the right.
Back. So I've basically stayed where I am, more or less.
Okay, shooting phase next. Okay, so we've got the squad across there going to go into the Mechanicum jump pack unit.
So I'm pretty sure I reroll ones here because if you're Solar Auxilia and you move half your movement distance, you count as staying still. And my doctrine allows me to reroll ones if I stay still.
Fine.
So that will be 3 rerolls of 1. hitting on 4s.
That helps a bit.
And the weapon I'm using here is the Las Rifle Blast Charger, which is range 18, strength 4. Strength 6, AP 4.
Whoa.
So it's like you charge your Las Rifle up and get a stronger shot.
Cool.
Your toughness 5, so freeze to
Freeze.
wound. That's 4 wounds at AP 4, so you get no armor saves.
No.
So one of them is killed and one is on 2 wounds.
Because they're 3 wounds each. Got it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's that done. Next up, las cannon. Sorry, you're going to shoot at my las cannons.
I am, yeah. And I'm going to presume that you're going to react and shoot back with your...
So talk about reactions. So how do I do this? After you've shot at me, or I react before you shoot at me?
As soon as I declare it, you can declare the reaction that you're going to do. So you can... So the ones that are available are in the shooting phase, return fire, or evade. So return fire is you just get to shoot back.
Oh, yes.
And that's done before any models are removed, so the whole unit gets to shoot back.
Whoa. Okay. And these are sort of generic for everyone or specific to me?
Everyone has access to these, and then each legion has its own unique reaction as well.
Yes. And the other question is, how many times do I get to react?
Each reaction, pretty sure it's once for each reaction per turn, but you're also limited to how many you can do.
Similar-ish to stratagems. You call upon them when you need
Can't
them.
use them quite as much as stratagems,
Yes.
but at least they're free.
Yeah.
So you don't have to use command points or anything like that.
Okay. So you get 1 reaction per turn. The Ultramarines are going to get an extra one. So I have 2. And we reckon you can use reactions multiple times as long as you have the points to do it. So yes, I'm going to return fire with those. Declare that now. So I'm going to keep track of it across here.
So I'm going to start off by firing my coaxial weapon, which allows me to reroll misses on the main gun. So we'll start with that. It's 1 hit. I'm strength 7, your toughness 4, so it's 2 plus to wound, so 2. So you just take 1 armor save.
Failed.
Oh, yay.
So, dead man, 1 win.
He's a dead man, but you can keep him there for the minute just to remind us of the 5 shots that you're going to get in return.
Yeah.
So I'll do my main gun now, which gets 2 shots. So 2 hits.
Uh-oh. 2 kills.
It's 2s to kill you, because I'm AP2. I've also got a rule called Brutal, which would force the number of armor saves equal to the number in the bracket on the Brutal rule. But for these, it doesn't come into play.
Splat.
So, yeah, it's 3 guys dead. And then the las cannon in the hull misses.
Okay. That's pretty good shooting. We'll fire back. In vengeance here. Ay, stop. Searchlights?
Searchlights, yeah.
No, I don't have it.
No, I do.
Yeah, but I can't shoot you back. Ooh,
Oh,
tricky.
now you're asking.
Back to the book you go.
Oh.
Okay, so night fighting is -1 to hit rolls, which is something we need to keep in mind. The searchlight unit, the unit that was lit up by the searchlight can return fire against that. So all is good. Freeze.
Freeze, yeah. 3 hits.
Okay. If I remember rightly, 5s for pens.
5s for glance, your strength 9 versus armor 14.
Oh yeah, because you're a better version.
You can re-roll your 1s. So that's a
Ooh.
glance and a pen.
Glance and pen. Revenge we seek. No, a 1.
So we're back to the shaken thing that we had from earlier. So I've taken the whole point and I'm snap shooting.
So I'm +1 to the result, but it's still the same result.
It's 1 to 3 is the
Fine.
shaken. So
And you're down to 2 wounds
I've taken
left.
2, haven't I? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So moving on, searchlights from these 2 tanks illuminating the Land Raider. Trouble.
I'll start off with my auto cannon so I can get my rerolls to hit. So as long as I hit once, it's fine. I'm rending, so I can still damage you on a 6, but no.
Okay.
So I'll do 1 tank at a time. So
Sure.
this main cannon. So,
5 and a 1.
so that's a reroll, isn't it? Because I've got my auto cannon. No. So 1 hit. I am strength 9, but I'm sure I am armor bane.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a vanquisher.
Yeah, so it's got the brutal
So,
roll.
that doesn't come into effect for this, so it's a glance.
Okay.
As can in the hole, probably can't see you through all of these Ogres and stuff, so I won't find
Cover save-ish?
Yeah, you'll get your 6 up for kind of obscured cover save.
No.
Alright, for the next one, you want me to use a patron for this?
Oh, don't you roll to see... Oh, you've got a lance. Sorry. It's one
It's a
glance.
glance, yeah.
And how many points does this thing have?
4 or 5. Quite a lot.
I'll put one. We're counting up, so we'll put one
Yeah,
there.
I'm counting up.
Okay.
Cool, so I'm going to use Darth Windu.
Darth Windu, yes.
Do I have to roll this dice?
If you want to.
Cool, so this is my auto cannon. That's a hit. And then on a 6, nope, nothing.
Okay.
And then this is my main gun. Oh, it's under there, look.
You're losing a lot of dice under there.
Yeah,
One
so
and a 2.
But I get to reroll because I'm coaxial. So that's 1 hit. And then again, 5s to glance. No, nothing.
Got away with that.
Oh, but I'm Sunder, I think. I am, so I can reroll fouls. So no, nothing.
Oh, just about.
And then his laser cannon we can't see, so
Okay.
that didn't achieve a lot.
No. Surviving so far with the Land Raider. The potency's there to get it for sure, but it's survived so far. So, haven't seen one of these on the board for a long time. Templates. This is firing from here.
So minus my ballistic skill, which is 3. So 2 inches back, I'm still going to hit you.
We'll get this precisely because you might catch some models. So scattering back to here, I remember the arguments that we and James used to have with these, just moving them around. But anyway, it's moved to there. It's not covering any models, but it's on the tank.
So ordnance is 2d6, pick the highest. I'm strength 12, but for the purposes of armor value, I'm sure you only go up to a maximum of 10. So I still have to roll 4s to glance. 2 and a 1, so nothing.
Okay.
Yippee.
Land Raider's tanky enough.
Yeah, they are hard to kill. I've got my battle cannon on the top, which it can hurt you, but only just. So again, it's the small blast template in this edition for the battle cannon. So let's go.
We'll readjust that back to where it was.
Minus 3, so 1 inch across.
Yep.
Still going to hit. 2d6, pick the highest. Nothing again.
Okay.
And then can my las cannon see you, Luke?
The las cannon, right. I would say one of them can, yeah.
So one of them can. That means the other one can shoot at the dreadnought then over there. So
yes.
So I'll do the one that can see the Land Raider. Nothing. And the one that can see the dreadnought. It hits. That's a scatter dice.
Okay.
It wounds.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to use your 5 up invulnerable save.
Yes. Yeah.
No, you take a wound.
Take a wound.
He's got 5 wounds. So he's
Don't you roll on your chart?
Not for a dreadnought. Yeah, dreadnought have toughness value, not armor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they're like monstrous creatures kind of thing.
Okay.
Can't really see a lot, so.
Okay. So, 5 powers finished. Charges?
No.
No charges. Okay. So, armies squaring up against each other here. So, the big question I've got is these and these clashing. Who wins?
You will win.
I will win.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for letting me know. We'll see if we can make that happen. And obviously I've got the command squad inside here as well. Okay, so we'll go on to the second turn of the game here for the Ultramarines. Yeah, the game moves along briskly enough, and movement phase has been very straightforward here. Both dreadnoughts pushing around to the left-hand side. Your mind is much more able to stick to the overall game plan with this. In 40k, you're having to constantly adjust to your cards being drawn. But with this, there is a lot more focus on the end game, which is to focus on these objectives. And that's pretty much it. I shouldn't really be distracted by anything else going on. Not having to divert units to get to flanks to perform actions, or get to the middle of the board and perform actions and so on. It really is focused on these objectives and the final score at the end of the game for controlling those. So, Terminator's moving up potential charge, Land Raider moving forwards, then disembarking with this squad. The idea is to combine the two together to try and take on the big Ogren blob. So, this attack's pushing through, past morale and holding with the las cannons, holding here on this home objective. This team's now set up, both rhinos pushing forwards and 2 ranks deep there with both of those tactical squads pushing forwards. And then I should get the name of them really, the jumping mechanical.
Thalax.
The Phalanx jumping forwards. They've got 2 multi-melters in the squads. They might be able to do something to that Leman Russ Vanquisher. That's it, quite straightforward. Movement done. Shooting phase next. So, laser cannon shots into here. And we'll longbow BB this one, so this is going to be dangerous. Well,
One thing I
3s.
forgot for last turn is I bought a thing called a flare shield, which increases my front armor by 1. It's like a 25-point upgrade.
Whoa.
And against blast weapons, it increases your front armor by 2.
So your armor total now is...
So it's 14. Normally it's 13.
Yes.
I forgot that I bought a flare shield. But it's fine. I don't think you damaged me anyway in the end, so it didn't matter.
2s?
2s, yeah.
Okay. And...
so I'm front armor 14. So 5s to glance. But you can reroll because you've got Sunder.
No, just a single glance coming through.
So I'm counting up.
Counting up, yeah, okay. We'll just repeat here.
So don't forget you've got your 6-inch bubble of increased ballistic skill. Oh no, it doesn't matter because you're
2s anyway.
Skill 2 anyway. No rerolls, just
Yeah. Try and roll higher. And we're
you
re-rolling.
you can reroll that, yeah.
No, nothing from him. Interesting. Okay, Dreadnought's struggling with the armour there on the
Malcador.
So Dreadnought's struggling with the armour on the Malcador. We'll press on to the Land Raider. It's going to offload all of its heavy guns through. No, sorry. We're allowed to split because of Serpent and Machine Spirit. This laser cannon physically can't see through here, so we're going to fire this one and this one at the middle Russ, and that one over there at the Malcador. So single shot here at the Malcador. Hold it right there. Sorry, just trying to grasp the rules. If these have got any kind of pistols or anything shooty, they can maybe put a shot into here.
You can only charge what you shoot.
Right. In which case we will not do that. And we'll carry on as normal. So laser cannon shots, 2 shots. Whoa. Repeat that again would be handy. Well, we almost do. So we've got a pen. And
that's nothing.
That's a nothing.
Front armor.
And am I re-rolling?
So yeah, you reroll. You've got Sunder. 2 pens. So now you roll on the damage chart and
6 up cover.
6 up cover.
Well,
you think we're obscured there? If you're happy for me to do it, I'll do it.
What do you reckon? A little bit. Does that count?
I mean, it's 25%. That's what it says.
Oh, is it 25%?
Yeah.
In which case, don't think so. No. We'll check. We'll have a chat. So we're saying technically yes. So 2 saves are 6.
No.
No, all right. And I'm rolling my... Are you super heavy?
So no, I'm not super heavy. 2
2s.
So it's just 2 crew shaking. So I'm snap shooting next turn, and I've taken 3 whole points now.
Okay. So we'll go... We need to put some kind of marker on him. I'll put a morale blob on there or something. And a wee puff. Okay. So single laser cannon shot in the middle first of all. It's a hit.
So this is on this Lima Russ
yes.
here, yeah?
And rolled a 4, but your armour is really good, isn't it? It's a 14.
It's 14 on these, yeah.
Am I re-rolling?
You can, yeah. Sunder again.
No. And then 2 laser cannon shots. 2 hits.
Ooh, a pen and nothing. So you can re-roll the 4.
Nope.
So do I get my... Well, I'm really obscured now. So should we go with the 5 up cover save?
Fair enough.
Shooting through all the units and stuff.
Dan got it. God, what the result have been. Okay,
That's
okay.
time I rolled a 5+.
Okay, so 5 power from him finished. We'll calculate a few pistol shots. If there's anything, we'll put it into the unit we're planning to charge. So we went on to fire these and caused a good number of casualties. Good number of wounds. Absorbed quite well, but Mitch has removed those 2 models. That has actually stretched their charge. We'll see if they make it in. So we then shifted across to the right-hand side. The Rhino at the back there got a hit, but no wound coming through against the squad on the right-hand side. So we're then, with +1 to hit rolls, going to benefit the unit at the front, which is going to fire rapid fire now. 20 shots. Nice bit of Ultramarines.
Is this the front unit, Luke, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine, you're all in. You've also got 1 bolt pistol shot from your apothecary, so 21 shots.
Okay. Alright, so 2s?
What did you hit with? Oh, the Rhino, so yeah, 2s. Yeah.
And then 3s to wound. Taking away
I'm going to react, by the way, Luke. And
yes.
return fire, so.
Okay. 5, 11.
11 saves.
11 saves. Good job, your armour 4+.
Yeah, they're not quite as bad as Imperial Guard from back in the day. So 4 ups.
Good rolling.
What's that? 4? 5.
5 gone.
Cool.
Taking a while to chew through them, for sure. And then we've got return fire, so Mitch remember the casualties and plus the ones that remain.
So there was 12. So I get 24 shots back. I stayed still as well, didn't I?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I moved half, which can't stay still. So rerolling ones. That's it. Oh.
Hit on 4s. And you're firing the superchargy option?
No, this is just the basic las rifle option. I'm not sure which one would be better against tactical marines. Probably this one. I don't actually know. 5s to wound. 1, 2, 3, 4 wounds, Luke.
Yes. 3 ups, I'm presuming.
3 ups, and then you've got your 5 up, feel no pain from your apothecary.
Doesn't help. And they're 1 wound each.
They are 1 wound, yeah.
2 casualties taken. So 2 casualties taken, and that is your reactive fire. That's once per turn for you guys.
It's once per turn, once per phase for each reaction, unless you have like a warlord trait or something that gives you more reactions,
Okay.
Which your one does, my one does. So I can do that again with another unit if I want to.
Oh, okay. Squad that's not in rapid fire, they're going to offload into the same target. They're blessed again, so 2s.
Blessed.
Is that the correct?
I don't know.
They're 3s to wound. Terrible, just 2.
Just 2. Okay.
Yeah.
2 4 ups. 1 dies.
1 goes through. All right. So firepower continues. I want to fire these, and I lined them up to shoot up there if possible.
Will be not in the building.
They're in the building, so no. I presume no. My vision was there on top. They are inside, and it's been declared. In which case, we'll search for other targets. We'll see what we can see. Right, we're saying I'm going to shoot across that flank there, so we'll offload into the remnants of that squad. So what do we get?
They're 5 shots each.
5 shots each.
They are strength 5 or 6. I'll quickly check.
So we've sat still.
Bulk out weapon.
They're awesome range. They're amazing. Yeah, 2's tip because the rhino lit up that target. So 2s.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a good volley. And then 2 wounds, I reckon, strength 6. There's going to be trouble here. Oh, there's a load of 1s came through.
They're dead.
A load of 1s, but there's a high volume of wounds come through here. 16.
16. So that's 8, 14, 16. I'm using James's dice. Luke's banned me from using the Ultramarine ones.
Okay.
4s. Oh no. 5. That was a 2 or 1. And is that 2, 4, 6, 8? I think that's the unit. There's only 6 left, so yeah, they're dead.
Gone cleared, okay. It's taken a good while to chew through them, but bolt of firepower, a bit of heavy firepower support coming through has brought them down. And I reckon that's firepower. No, it's not. We've got 2 lascan shots across into the tank over there. Quick. Sam Hermes. Yeah, we use a Patreon for this one. 2 hits. Good. 6 and 3. Does that have the ability to reroll?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's thunder. Yeah. So 1 penetrating hit.
Okay. And the result is a
2
2.
shaken. I was already shaken, but I've taken another wound. That's 3 wounds now. Potentially dead.
Yeah, it could be. Could be a 3-wound model.
Yeah, just check if it has 3 or 4 hull points. I think it's 4. So.
Yeah, it's 4 hull points. It's just about alive. 1 wound left. Okay, end of shooting. No, it's not. It's not. The Mechanicum squad, they're all grey, you see. They blend in so well with your own. Okay, we'll offload with those. We'll go into the tank. We're going to try and bring it down. So multi-melters, I think perhaps is the only weapons that can damage it.
Multi-melters get 2 shots, I believe. We'll double check for you. Skill 4, so hitting on 3s, but they're twin linked.
I'm going to turn to the last Patreon for this. Michael Fryer, this is important enough. Try and bring this tank down. 6 and 5.
Alright, so your armor bane, so you need to roll these separately because they're going to be 2d6 penetrating hits.
Yes. 2d6 for my total I'm trying to score.
Yeah, so
right.
Because you're armor bane, so you need to roll them roll the 2 hits separately.
As
so
pairs, yes.
Yeah, pairs, yeah.
And I'm adding it or choosing the best?
Adding.
Whoa. 12! So that one goes through. I'll just roll the other one now.
Yep.
7 plus whatever.
Strength, 8, 7, yeah, 2 penetrating hits. You're also AP 1, so
yes.
it's +2 on the damage chart. So you're dead anyway because you've done 2 whole points.
Yeah. 4
so
and 1.
4 is 6 as explodes.
That's blow up.
Oh no, sorry, what did you roll?
That's a 4 and a 1.
4 and a 1. No, it's just wrecked. Only a 7 is a
yes, explosion.
Explodes. So
gotcha.
I'm just wrecked.
Target destroyed. And usually wrecks remain on the board.
I think it's personal preference. If we want it
Fine.
to stay there, we can. If we want, we smoke.
Oh yes, we've got smoke. Let's have ourselves a wreck here, and we're using some nice burning vehicle markers, like so. All right, target destroyed. Ultramarines doing okay. We'll go on to charges next.
There's a foul. Okay,
double ones is an automatic foul. We'll go for these first, trying to make their charge. We'll roll it here and we'll measure up. Well, I'm saying that. You tell me if I'm doing it wrong. So.
What's that?
So I can just roll up and we'll go straight in. Like an Overwatch or anything.
There's no Overwatch on that unit. So, what are you doing? The Terminators? Or
Terminators first.
Terminators first.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's no Overwatch, so go for it.
4 ain't going to do it?
No.
And there's no kind of re-rolls?
No, no re-rolls, no. You do get a surge move, which I'll have to check. I think you move your initiative, but you only rolled a 4, right, which would be your initiative. So, yeah, I think you do get a surge move. I'll check. And then, but these guys next, right?
Yep. Command squad. They're up for it. 9. Okay. Okay, so yeah, surge moves 2 inches. That's half my initiative.
No,
right?
It's half your
total
rolled.
I rolled.
Yeah.
Also on a foul charge, you can still move forwards a bit.
Yeah, so if you rolled a 4, which you did, you get to move 2 inches forwards.
Okay, that's realistic enough. Good rule. And then across there, I wanted to charge in there with the jump pack unit, but you can't because they shot at the tank. This charge has gone ahead. Slight adjustment with the models on both sides, and we're ready for the fight. So it's not done by fights first. It's done by initiative, which I presume ours is higher, but we'll let Mitch take us through this whole process for this big bust up. And I'm going to zoom in here just to capture this one as well, because it's quite an epic fight developing. Okay.
So your initiative 4, your Praetor is initiative 5. I think I'm only initiative 2.
Yes.
But you do have some Thunderhammers, which will hit last. Because
yes.
They have, is it unwieldy? Counts as being initiative 1.
Yes.
So you get a lot of attacks for these guys. You can do the Praetor first.
Yes.
So your weapon skill 6 on him. I'm only weapon skill 5. So you're hitting me on freeze. No, I'm weapon skill 4. So you're hitting me on 2s, I think.
Right, so go on to the Praetor first. 4 attack space. Get an extra attack for charging. And an extra attack for his weapons.
Because he has a pistol and a melee weapon.
I remember all this stuff. Yes, it's all triggered loads of fond memories of previous editions. So 3s, reckon, for our hits.
5s to wound.
5s to wound. Got 1.
I don't get any armor saves because you're AP 2, but I do get my feel no pain.
Yes.
So I'll use a Patreon dice for this. Hopefully someone lives 4 up. No.
Okay, that's Dave Humphries. You can add, Dave Humphries can be your entire melee. It's not just single dice, we can commit the entire melee.
Take a wound on one guy.
Onto that Patronic dice, that's fine. I've got Thunderhammers, which I have to wait for. I've got 3 guys with big axes.
You do, 3 guys with axes. So they are 3 attack space, +1 for charging, +1 for having a pistol and a melee weapon. I'm weapon skill 5, I'm weapon skill 4, you're hitting me on 3s again.
3s. Gotta kill Ogrins here. So I think there might be trouble. Okay. Wounding.
Your strength 4, I'm toughness 5, so 5s.
5 total.
5, okay. Hopefully Dave can save me. This is my feel no pain, so I take 4 wounds. So 1 is killed, and
that's those 2. Because there's a wound on 1 already.
Yes,
3 wounds
right.
each.
Yeah, and then 1 is
one
on
with
1
one
wound
left. Yeah.
That's 1 killed.
Okay, so that's the current state of play. I've now got to try and survive the Ogrins striking back before we can use these Thunderhammers.
Right.
Which I'm presuming you're not unwieldy. You're low initiative, but not unwieldy. So you'll get yours in
when you
first.
initiative 2 or 3, 2s.
There's lots of attacks, but it's going to be hard to hit here. 5s. There'll be some
good.
coming through.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Just
7,
continuing on the
8,
Dave Humphries roll.
9.
Yep.
So I'm strength 7 versus toughness 4, so 2s, and I'm looking for 6s on rending.
Uh-oh.
So there's 2 rending, and then 3 armor saves.
Okay.
So rending is AP 2, so one guy's killed, you got 2 wounds, and then you got.
Because rending is going to bypass my invuln save.
Oh no, you're getting invuln save, sorry, yeah, which is 4+ in close combat.
So I'll do those 2 rends. 4 ups. 2
Oh,
4s.
And then 3 2-ups.
All of them. Cool.
Fine.
Yeah, they're tough.
They're really hard to kill.
They are tough. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. Very interesting. So I'm going to strike you back with the hammers then.
You are. So you don't get +1 for having a hammer and a pistol because it's a specialist weapon.
Yes.
So you've got 3 guys with hammers in total. No, sorry, 2 guys with hammers. Yeah. It's the guy with a banner and the guy with a shield. So you're 3 attack space, +1 for charging. Hitting on 3s, wounding on 2s. Your strength 8 with these.
Oh boy, right. 6.
So 6. So these have a rule called brutal, where for each wound you take equal number of armor saves to the bracket. So you're brutal 2, but I can't take armor saves.
Oh,
so
it's 2s all round then.
Yeah, basically.
It's a slain model, the one that's already on a wound.
Yeah.
And pairing them up. It's another 2 slain, and then 1 with 1 wound left.
Yeah.
Ouch.
However, I then get to do my
Feel no pain,
don't I?
Yes, you do. Yeah.
So I'm not sure how brutal interacts with feel no pain. I think it's specifically for armor saves, but I'll check.
So he's going to get it. So you've got a guy on a wound left.
So we do him. Do you want me to do him first?
With 2 damage coming through. So you want to feel no pain that first. Looking for 5 ups.
Yeah. Nope.
Right, so that's enough to kill that one model that you've already taken off.
So then I've done wounds, didn't you?
Yeah. So then I've done a pair. So you could roll the 4 feel no pains. Yeah, 5 ups.
Still take 3 wounds,
which is enough to get him. And then it's a pair again. Blocked it.
Alive.
Which then you've got 1 left for 1 pair in 5s.
I'm going to have to take 5s.
And we just about got him.
Just about. So the result is the same, but I just suffered less wounds in total.
Correct, yeah. So 2 more models to be removed.
Yep.
And no extra wounds being added on. Take that away.
There we go.
And that's our result. Okay, brutal fight taking place across there. Right, okay, so morale's busted, but they remained in close combat because of a rule called Death Frenzy, where you take a model away, you slay a model, and then keep the others in play. So question, again, I'm trying to remember here. When you bust morale, what happens usually? You run away.
So you run 2 dice.
2d6.
2d6.
Yeah.
But you do have the opportunity to
chase
sweep
you
in
down.
Advance and chase me down.
Yeah, I remember that.
So you roll off
on initiative.
On initiative, yeah.
Gotcha.
Basically. And
they would be quite vulnerable to that happening, but that's compensated with the
Death Frenzy.
Death Frenzy. Gotcha. All right. Yes, they are familiar rules. They haven't been circulating in my mind for years and years. But then as soon as you mention them, it's like, oh yeah, I remember that rule. It was good. So, if you're a fan of previous editions, then 30k is the way to go. I do like the mechanics for what is this 40k? 5th, 6th.
It's kind of like a mix of 6th and 7th with more stuff added in, basically.
Because there's some terms and some rules that I are unfamiliar with, so they've obviously added some extra things on. But the main core of those previous editions is there for sure. End of turn, we'll go on to Solar Auxilia turn 2 next. So turn 2 movement here, we've said, for the Solar Auxilia, we've said that these are locked in combat, but Mitch has made some other manoeuvres.
So this unit left the building. This unit shuffled up a little bit. So did this unit just to make room. They've all only moved half their move distance just so that I can still fire my weapons.
Yes.
This vehicle's moved up to block Luke from moving in. If Luke's silly enough to shoot it and blow it up, that would be nice. I've pulled back over there so I don't get charged by the dreadnought, and I've moved my demolition vehicles round as well.
Charged by the dreadnought. It's dangerous enough then, close combat.
Oh yeah. The close combat weapon, it's got like strength 10, AP 2.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay. And sneaking around with these, imagine they're dangerous enough. Firepower here. There is nothing here. It's all been restricted across in this direction. So that's what we've done. There was an attempt to bring in the dropship, but you roll up for it and failed.
It's a reserve roll, so you can deep strike,
Yes.
or you can come on and like zoom across the battlefield. But they don't have any guns, so they're only really there to drop you in, provide you with a deep strike option. But you have to roll on the reserve roll, and I had to roll a 3 and I rolled a 2.
Okay. Yeah, so I have some questions about 30k, and do let us know in the comment section if you play 30k, what you think of it, or if you're thinking about getting into it. Just we'd love to hear from you. So do let us know in the comment section. But any veteran 30k players, now's your time to speak up here. Just for the first time we played this here on the channel. So questions for you. I'm just thinking of comparing to 40k currently. Do you suffer from some of the current annoyances? For example, how many editions are you on? How often? You said there's a new edition coming in a few months or so.
Well, so the previous edition, first edition, lasted for about 10 years.
10 years?
Yeah, it got updates every so often and FAQs, that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
it was a really drawn out release. I think there was something like 8 big books for it. And then the last book got cancelled roughly the time 8th edition came out for 40k.
Okay.
And then about 2.5, 3 years ago, we got second edition, which is these books we're using now.
Yes.
And then there's been rumours going around for about a year now that there's a new edition coming with significant changes. But obviously, I don't have any inside information or anything. So
Okay.
it's all just rumours.
And one of the other, the current things that's quite annoying for 40k is the constant tinkering with points. Do you have that? You don't have that?
No.
Right.
Well, very rarely anyway. There is stuff they do release FAQs and updates, but they're
Clarifications
once every
are
6 months maybe, and then nothing major. Unless something in the game is really egregious and overpowered. There was an Ultramarine unit which was basically these Terminators with like a big plasma gun missile launcher on the top that was really, really overpowered.
They had to step in.
They must have been getting a ton of complaints, and eventually it got nerfed after about a year.
Okay. So
Stuff like that.
yeah, so I'm weighing up the two as like viable options, and each one's going to appeal to different people. But if there's elements of 40k which are irritating, such as the constant changes and so on, and that may not be irritating to others because you may be like tournament player and so on. But if you want something that's a bit more steady and more continuous, 30k certainly seems like a good option to go down. And it's not neglected really because of all the plastic like stuff that's coming out. There's really nice kits. We had a game filmed, and it was the Death Guard, and Jason used the plastic Predators from 30k.
Yeah.
Beautiful kits. So there are some amazing models out there for sure. So it's not a range that's hit a dead end. There are some great releases coming up for that, and even the infantry as well. Are these plastic?
They're plastic with resin upgrade kits.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So there's great. The Marines over there are plastic.
Again, they're plastic. There's a couple of guys who have got resin heads, but for the most part, they're plastic. Yeah.
But situations improved in the last 10 years or so.
In the last 2.5 years, they released.
Right.
So these are all new scale like plastic tactical wing kits. All the heavy weapons used to be resin. You now buy them in big boxes of 10. They come with like I think the box I got come with las cannons, auto cannons, and Volkite guns. So you get 30 heavy weapons, and it's like 20 quid, something like that.
Okay.
So there's tons of upgrade kits that come out over the last few years.
Yes. Okay. So shooting phase. We'll get back to the game here. Shooting phase next.
Cannon first.
Yes, firing across here into the Dreadnought. This is the Vanquisher there at the back.
One hit. Does it wound? No, but that's fine. I only need it for the rerolls on the main gun, so the main gun can fire. One hit. 2's to wounds, and I am AP 2, brutal 2, so you need to take 2 5-up invulnerable saves.
Ouch. Blocked
So
one.
that's one, so you take a wound. Anyway.
That's the last kind of shot and missed.
Same for this vehicle. It's 2 hits with the autocannon, 1 wound.
Save's quite good for this.
Yeah, 2+, so you're fine. And then it's main gun.
1 hit.
2 hits.
2 hits.
2s. So that's 4, 5 up invulnerable saves.
Right. Ouch. Blocked 1.
So 3. You've taken 4 wounds. My
Dead.
cannon. I think you've got 5 wounds in total. Rerolls of 1 because I didn't move. Nope, still fails. Okay, well at least I've nearly killed you.
Ouch.
Yeah, I'm sure you've got 5 wounds in total, but I'll double check. We'll shoot with him. I've just realised that I've backed away so far that my las cannon can't see.
Yes.
So we'll drop a template on you over here.
Yep.
I'm going to use your Ultramarine scatter dice. I presume you don't have any scatter dice, so you don't play anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm miles off. So that's missed. We'll do the main gun up here. That's
Should be right.
-3. It's still going to be 3 inches. I'm probably going to be off, aren't I?
We'll check here.
That's what I wanted
Yeah,
to
it's
do.
missed. A 2, 1 less inch would have done it. So that's him done. We'll press on with more firepower. So firepower continues, or it's finished here. Combining firepower of all of these units was enough to wipe out the Mechanicum unit across here. So they are gone. Clearing those away. End of shooting phase. We'll continue this combat across here. I'm presuming there's no charges to take place. So we'll cycle through this close combat once again. So it's based on initiative order.
So yeah, you strike first again. So you got your Praetor first.
So I go to 4 attacks and then 1 for my weapons, but no charge taking place this time. 2s.
3s.
Still 3s, yeah. And 5s. Just going by memory here. Yeah, 1 goes through.
Use the petrol and try and keep myself alive. 5 up, feel no pain. No,
That's
a wound.
Gavin here. Mitch is going to use those for all of his saves. Okay, so 1 wound taken. Our friends with axes. 3 attacks each. 1 for the combo. That's it.
Yeah, that's right.
3s. 5s.
5s.
Nothing. Now it's over to you, because
My
hammers are
strike's
unwieldy.
back, yeah. There were 4 wounds, 4 attacks before, then the Death Frenzy gave them +1 attack.
All right. 10 attacks then.
So yeah, unfortunately there's not many of them left. So hitting on 5s. Oh dear.
1.
Followed by 2. But you have to take a invulnerable save for that.
4 plus.
4+, yeah.
Blocked. Shields
It's just not
hold.
going well.
And then the hammers, I think it's a flat 3 attacks each.
Yeah.
Hitting on 3s.
Yep.
This is the big roll. Wounding on
2s.
2s.
4, but each one does 2 lots.
Yes.
So that's 5. No, 4 feel no pains we've got to take in total.
Yes.
So
Could be a wipeout here. Depends on the feel no
I
pain.
think this time, because we'd already determined it last time, I can just roll the 4 and then see where we end up. Because I've taken 1 wound, so I take 4 wounds, which is enough to kill the unit. So there we go.
No, you'd be doing. Sorry, are wounds rolling on, or are they lost? If it's a 2 wound model, but I cause 3 damage, the spare wound doesn't roll on to the next model, or
No,
does it?
doesn't
Doesn't,
roll.
right? So you had. So I'd done enough there to.
So one
The
guy
first
was on.
pair, he had a wound left. That's
Oh,
killed
so
him.
Still, so one guy will still be alive on 1 wound.
On 1 wound. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, my fault.
So you've now got, the problem is you've got 4 feel no pains of 5 plus to try and keep him alive from the next 2 hammers that went through.
Yes.
Getting there.
So 4.
Yes. And no,
No.
that's enough for the wipeout.
There we go.
Okay, right.
my
Target
fault.
destroyed. So what happens now in 30k?
You get your consolidation move, which I think is your initiative. Again, I double check. I'm sure it is, which would be 4. So you can move 4 inches.
Anywhere?
Yeah, anywhere. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it's an initiative-based move. You take your highest initiative. In my case, it's 5, and you can pretty much go where you want. So I've gone 5 inches across in that direction, pushing deeper into the Solar Auxiliary territory here. End of turn. The game rolls on quite smooth, isn't it?
It's fast.
It's quick enough. It is quick enough. Yeah, I'm noticing the difference.
Really quick.
Yeah. We'll go on to turn 3, middle stage of the game here for the Ultramarines next. So, movement here for the Ultramarines, just making what's the move called? A run move or advance move?
Run or advance. I don't think it.
Dropping down and then moving across here to get onto the objective, holding. Redundant with these, so move them across higher up, and again making a full move with those. Terminator's moving forwards, quite predictable really, a slight turn on the Land Raider and then pushing through with both the Dreadnoughts. These moved about a further 6. Mitch then used 2 reactions. He's able to use 2 and able to pull back both of those units over there. Their initiative, which is 3 inches.
Is it? Yeah, I think it is their initiative. Yeah, sorry.
And the 2 regular tactical squads are making their moves, pushing forwards, accompanied by the Rhinos to continue their firepower. That is movement done. Shooting phase next.
Oh, I've got 2, but it's 2 in the shooting phase that I've got.
Just correcting the rules, putting the models back. Only 1 unit can do the withdrawal. The ability to use 2 reactions is in your shooting phase. Okay, so we'll press on with shooting here. So pressing on with firepower, the Rhinos firing, or the one at the one closest, that one fired across. We lit up the middle targets. I want to disrupt those because we want to try and charge them. So the Rhino fired, and the vast majority of those 2 squads of tactical Marines, plus some pistols from the elite command squad as well. Took out a number of them, about
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 9.
Yeah, okay. And return fire was done and then activated the entire tertio, so
it's all 40 guys got to fire back with 2 shots each.
Yes.
For 80 shots, and I didn't kill a single guy.
Yeah, 2. There's a good number of wounds came through, passed a load of 3 up saves, 2 wounds did sneak in, and then passed 2 feel no pains of 5+, so we kept all the damage away. Tough enough with those tactical Marines, for sure. No firepower from any of these units, so we're going to turn to the Terminators. We'll do that quickly. Those pistols into that tank. But no, maybe they can't even do anything.
Strength 5 versus side armor 12. No, you can't hurt him.
Fine, that's great. So we can just leave that. And again, that's another difference to regular 40k, where everything shoots everything. We'll then go for the Land Raider. Doesn't really make sense to go after that. We can shoot at the back there. Yeah, we'll try and shoot at that. I can't see through to those. I have been blocked. We'll shoot at that. It could detonate and could cause trouble, but, it's too tempting not to go for it. So 2 side sponson laser cannons. Hitting on 3s. We're on hit.
You know what you should have done first? You should have shot it with the other guys to give yourself +1 ballistic skill.
Them?
Yeah, even though you can't hurt it, you can still shoot to give yourself a +1 ballistic skill.
Okay.
Can't hurt it.
Yeah. No, it makes sense that they did fire at that to get the bonus. So, 3 hits coming through, their pistol firepower lighting it up to assist with their shooting. So that one's missed. I don't get any kind of rerolls to hit or anything.
With the middle gun you do, but that's separate. So
wounding, 555.
555. That's
Side armor.
3 penetrating hits.
We'll just roll the result here. Just hull points.
Just hull points, yeah, it's just wrecked. There we go.
Okay.
New model syndrome.
Do I stop or do I fire the other weapon to see if you get a detonation?
I suppose, I don't know.
We'll roll on to see if it's simultaneous firepower. I'm guessing you can just keep. I don't know. I'm trying to remember myself back to previous editions.
I've never had anybody ask that question before.
Sorry. Do you? So we'll put it into the comment section. Do you just fire everything? No. I tell you what.
Fired all your weapons at once.
No,
so.
you don't, because I got a feeling it's you pick a weapon to shoot with, and you just pick one weapon after the next.
I tell you what, you've also got power of the machine spirit, so
Split
that
fire.
weapon could split fire and go somewhere else. But then maybe you should have declared that first.
No, I do think you're declaring everything.
Yeah.
What we're going to do is we'll call it quits, and it's wrecked. We'll leave it at that. So we're leaving up the wrecks if they're not having an impact on the game, but that's quite important, that area there. So we just put some explosions out, and we've kept the turret on the board. Terminator's wondering what they're going to do for themselves next. They've walked all that way, but now they're out of a target. We'll swap across here. We'll go for some laser cannon shots. We'll go with him in twos. Fives are good, I think. Reroll these two.
Yeah.
2 5s.
So 5 is a glance because of my flare shield on the front. So I've now suffered 4 wounds. I've got 1 left.
2 go through.
Oh, 2. Oh, yeah. Sorry. 5. I'm dead then. I'm wrecked.
Target destroyed and wrecked. Yeah. Stuff does die quick enough. And on lower amounts of dice, like it's...
Yeah, we're not having to roll hundreds of dice apart from for las guns.
Yeah. Right, that's firepower finished. 30k is certainly brutal enough. We're going to charges next. So the big question, can we reach that squad?
You fired at this one, so you can only declare against this one.
Ah, yes, true, because I fired pistols at you.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long old charge. Can you multi-charge? I'm asking you all the probing questions there.
I think so.
Going by my memory, which isn't the best.
I think you can.
I think you can.
You shot at this unit.
I have to go for them.
I think so, yeah. Which is going to be an 8-inch charge.
So I'm going to roll. You certainly will have to reach that. You can't multi-charge and only reach one unit. You have to at least reach the unit that you have
declared against. Yeah,
declared against.
I'll double check.
We'll double check. So I'm going to roll up to see what I get, and then I'll contact both if I'm allowed to. It's a 7.
No, you're not going to be in. But you do get your 50% surge move. So I presume you round up, which will give you a 4-inch.
4-inch surge.
Surge move, yeah.
All right, so surge move, you have to do it. So we push those forwards just around the corner. I was going to try and hold them back because they might attract attention from the vanquishers, but we'll see. End of turn, there's no charges, there's no continuing melees, but certainly destruction coming through from the Ultramarines. Good discipline, firepower from them. Destroying a number of targets and clearing this area almost completely. We'll go on to the third turn of the game for the Solar Auxilia next. All right, so moving here on turn 3. We have the Goliaths. No.
Goliath's the historical one.
Sorry.
Cyclops.
The Cyclops is moving through. So they detach themselves and move
so they're
off.
Like a controller unit. They remote control them into battle.
Very cool. Okay, we'll see them in action. That's great. Tanks backing off. Getting ready to lay down a triple blanket of firepower across in this direction as the Solar Auxilia seek to halt or slow down the Ultramarine advance. That's pretty much it for movement. We'll go on to shooting phase next. Firepower from this took out the Dreadnought straight away. Just the one wound to pick up. Next up is the one in the corner.
Yeah, I'm thinking about firing into this command squad here.
Okay, we'll press on here with firepower. Right, so firepower's done. Just a blanket of firepower all directed across in this direction. A lot of 2-up saves were made, but some were failed. So 2 of the axemen from this squad removed from play. As we mentioned already, the Vanquisher taking out the Dreadnought. This one...
just rolled all 1s and 2s.
That's right. It's shot here as well to try and take out some of these, but failed to do so. That shooting phase finished. Most of the firepower coming from this block across here. We're going to charges next, which there are. Cyclops is pushing forwards, looking to ram and detonate against those Terminators. So we're going to use the Mitch Not Key for Rob dice, Drakari player.
These demolition vehicles behind here, so... Oh, I'm definitely in.
Right, they're in. So they scoot along.
So I'm going to have to roll separately for each one, I think, Luke.
Mini boats. He's a fan of boats.
Oh, I'm definitely in with that one.
Oh, because they're coming from separate units, yeah.
Yeah, they're each individuals, and 7 with that one, yeah, so they're all in. Okay. He's underneath that smoke.
Weird. Never seen anything like this before.
I'm just going to try and kill the Herald.
Oh.
That's my goal.
Right, question with the rules for you 30k players out there. So the rules do say that each Cyclops picks a model that you're in base-to-base contact with. Therefore, Mitch can go after the Herald, or is it the case that because the Herald's buried in the unit, I can pick which unit to be destroyed? We're not totally sure. Let us know in the comment section below. We're going to go with Mitch can pick and choose and destroy whichever model he pleases.
It specifically says in it that you pick the model that you're in base-to-base contact with.
Okay.
So, yeah, there we go.
Go ahead.
But you get to strike me first.
Okay.
Oh no, we're at the same time because you've got Thunderhammer.
Yes.
And I'm also Initiative 1. So we're both striking at Initiative 1.
Got the Mace boys.
But they're not in base-to-base contact or in combat with me.
Right. So am I going to react with a pile-in?
Yeah, because it's a regular assault, so you'll have to move in like this. So the way I've modelled these guys is, so yeah, he's got a mace, he's got a Thunderhammer. Obviously, you're quite far back with some of these.
Yeah, he'll be out of it. The one back there.
So those two guys will be out.
Mm-hmm.
One of which is a Thunderhammer. One is a mace.
Yes. Okay, so we'll calculate the ones that can fight with their initiative first. So I've got 2 with maces that can fight, hitting on 2s. We're all good. And then we're going to look at the profile here to see what we need to destroy this thing.
2.
3s then?
So 3s, yeah.
2 with them all.
2, and I've got 3 up save.
Snake eyes.
Double. I've got 2 wounds, so you do kill that one before it blows up.
Yes, it's that one there can go.
But
I guess that's the disadvantage of charging units with initiative that can fight quite well. Usually these things will be driving into vehicles which don't stand much of a chance, hardly any chance of trying to stop them before they detonate, so that's fine. So now I'm going to go on to 2, well, 1 at a time, I'm guessing, so because they're separate units. So Mitch can roll up here 1 at a time to try and take on this banner.
So the first one, Strength 10, AP 1, Melee, Instant Death, Brutal 2.
Okay, right.
So you just take an automatic hit by Cole. I don't know.
Carl Roden here.
Roden,
Tyranny player.
So there you go. I'll use these 2. So is it 1 strength hit? Oh, 1 automatic hit. So 2's. It's 2's to kill you. Like roll a 2, you die.
Yeah, sounds about right.
No, you've got invulnerable save.
Failed on a 1 after all of that. Okay. The next one.
Me down.
Don't roll another 5.
Right, there you go. You got to pass 2 4-up invulnerables because I'm brutal.
Failed. Snake eyes for me as well.
So he dies.
Banner blows to pieces. And you're on auto detonate, so they're
just gone.
Gone as well. Okay, that was weird. Love those models. Those are a fantastic unit. Let us know if you got the rules right for that one. But that's the Cyclops demolition miniature tanks attacks complete. If I've finished a melee, can I then push forwards a little bit?
I guess you technically won the melee.
Oh yeah.
So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we've done a surge consolidation with those 4 inches pushing forwards. That's the end of the turn. So end of turn, we're all on to turn 4 here for the Space Marines. Despite what's happened, we think the momentum is with them. They're now starting to break into the Solar Auxilia deployment zone. We'll see if we can take on some more units here. Turn 4 for the Space Marines next. Stepping to the side here to put some shots through the laser cannons. Land Raiders squaring up, Terminators pushing through. And then you can see surging through with the tactical squads and the elite command squad, and then backing off with that front squad of Solar Auxilia to try and keep some distance between them and the units. No movement across here, except the Rhinos diverted away, leaving the Marines and heading off to park up underneath the central objective. We've gone to shooting phase next. So, shooting phase. Rhino lighting up the back squad of Solar Auxilia, and then firepower coming from the 2 tactical squads, reducing them down a fair bit, so maybe about half that squad destroyed. Terminator's not shooting, just being careful about that, and also with the command squad not shooting as well, just making sure that we don't extend our charge distance and limit who we can charge. Firepower here, combined with firepower from the laser cannons on the Land Raider. Got a mixture of glancing hits, so 1 caused here and 2 on the one at the back, but no penetrating hits and further damage caused. We're going to charges next. So we have an end of turn here. Failed the charge. It was a 5 required. You have to make base contact, and there's no ghost inch in this.
The reason you had to roll a 5 is because when you finish your move, you had to be over an inch away anyway.
Correct.
And then I moved back 3 inches in the reaction.
Yes.
So it's a minimum of 4, and I think you only rolled a 3 or 4 anyway.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't have got in.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it didn't make it in. And the Terminators, I wanted to charge all 3 of these. They're individual units as Nate required. And we only rolled a 6. Just made a bit of a surge of those. I suppose you can surge me forwards with them. They failed their charge, but they can push forwards a little bit, just a couple of inches. Yep. That's it. End of turn. A little bit of a breathing space here for the Solar Auxilia. We'll press on to their turn 4 next. So turn 4 here for the Solar Auxilia. Holding to block. Backing up a little bit with these. Getting ready to shoot with those. Reinforcements, as you can see, have arrived. They deep strike in. They could go anywhere, but they've elected to go here. Let's make a final stand in this corner. Tanks haven't moved. Getting ready to shoot. And that's about it. All the action is in this table quarter at the moment. So we'll go on to shooting phase next. Right, so shooting phase here. Bodyguard stripped away from the elite squad. That was Firepower Vanquishers, just taking a heavy toll on them. Tactical Marines, I think, were left alone. Terminators.
You got to tell them that you had to roll 2 5-ups to survive the Vanquisher, and you rolled 2 5-ups.
Yeah, we did. Just as Mitch thought, he got the commander. We managed to survive. Lost a couple of Terminators across here as well. Just rolling lots of ones coming through. So a couple of those have dropped as well. So it's expensive enough. Our advance towards the Solar Auxilia. A nice blanket of firepower and some very nasty heavy guns supporting them as well. No charges taking place, I don't think so. So we'll head on to, be our turn 5 then.
Yeah, you will have to do a leadership test for your Terminator squad as well. They suffered 50% losses.
Right, so we'll resolve that, and then we'll press on to turn 5 for the Ultramarines. Turn 5 for the Ultramarines, just pressing on with the attack. So Land Raider moving through, parking up and gaining control of the objective. Stepping to the side a little bit more, getting ready to shoot across this direction against the Vanquisher. Terminators pushing through, multiple options for the 3 of them. The Commander, discretion over Valor here, so we've tucked him in behind the terrain. We'll just leave the Legionaries just to finish off what's in front of them. The Rhino's made its journey across here to gain the central objective, and happy to sit on this one across here with these units. We're going to shooting phase next. So firepower resolved. A lot of DACA coming from those Space Marines. One of the squads remaining stationary, the one closest to the board edge. So getting rapid fire, and then an extra shot each because of Fury of the Emperor, is it called?
Fury of the Legion. So if you stay still, you get an additional shot with your bolt gun.
Yeah, okay, so that's what they did. Firing at the closest squad, just using the bolt to try and clear them away. Return fire did come through. We lost 2 Marines in return, but that squad's been decimated. There's just a few of the models left. Then firepower from here, from the Dreadnought, did take out the Vanquisher. Land Raider picked up another glancing hit against the one in the corner. It has 1 wound left. We're going to charges next.
Around here I did, by the way.
That's fine. Charges and combats have been resolved. Terminators went in. We suffered an overwatch and lost a model. Managed to keep our saves going throughout the combat. Mitch striking first for the higher initiative. We've got Thunderhammers. Then we struck back and killed 4, I believe. They've gone on to pass the morale. So combat's resolved here over in this corner at the end of turn 5 for the Ultramarines.
5, yeah.
So end of turn 5, we reckon the end of the game. There's a few things to clarify. So we've been checking the rules for the holding of objectives only. It's not only vehicles can't. So this Rhino's redundant, thinking that it can hold the objective. I was in 10th edition 40k mode for that one. You need to be not only not a vehicle, but also you need to have the line.
It's like a subtype.
Keyword subtype ability. The only units that I've got that align are those 2 tactical squads across there.
Well, luckily, your 2 tactical squads. So if we were to play the final turn, you're in range to control this objective and this objective.
Yes.
The other line units you did have were the Terminators with the banner. But when the banner died, they lost line. Right. And then your command squad also line.
I see, yes.
They all died, leaving the Praetor, so he's not line anymore either.
I understand.
And I think the Jump Mechanicum guys, the Thalax, I think they're line as well, but obviously they died. And
line troops used pretty obvious, just all of your large Solar Auxilia infantry squads.
Yep, it would have just been this big blob of guys, basically.
Yes. Okay, it's pretty even balance, actually, just that we suffered, because Mitch managed to break up those 2 units, not wiping them out, but breaking them up to stop the line ability coming through. Also, as part of this mission, you're getting rewarded, you're getting points, single points coming through for kill points. So that's really going to tip things in the favour of the Ultramarines here. They've wiped out a good number of units here for the Solar Auxilia. We've only lost 1, 2 in return, so a win in that regard. There was the bonus point coming through for the super heavy being destroyed also. So with the end of the game coming up, it would have been, as Mitch has mentioned, this squad potentially running towards the objective here, the second line squad going after this objective, so that would help secure those, and a bit of a continuation with firefight and combat there in the corner, but a foregone conclusion here. Ultramarine advance.
Sorry to interrupt, but if you roll for that,
the value,
that's worth 1. This one is worth 1. Oh no, nothing. So
all right, so it was all in vain in the end. Okay, so but it's skill points that's really tipped it in the favour here. The Ultramarine advance was steady across the board and unrelenting, really. It kept going all the way through from one turn to the next. Solar Auxilia put up a fight. Casualties ran heavy on a number of our units, but in the end, Space Marine might has prevailed. We can talk about units of the game next for both sides.
I like the little dreadnought. I think just consistently putting down 4 las cannon shots.
It's dangerous. It's very accurate as well.
170 points, something like that. So,
okay.
Yeah, pretty good for the price. And then these for the price as well. These are only 160 odd points.
They're scary.
So you can bring a lot of those if you're playing 3,000 points and really like hammer the expensive units. Like Terminators die to these really quickly.
True. Yeah, we saw that. Interesting. And I would say I'd be in agreement on you for sure. The Tactical Marines were useful. Good blanket of firepower, steady advance coming from them. Good long range, tons of firepower coming from this squad as well, just laying down shots into the Solar Auxiliary units across there. Good supporting firepower available from them. So thank you to our silver level patron, that's Dumpy Grimbo. Big thanks to him for his support at silver level. So we have played after 2011 we started the channel. People have been asking, you must play 30k. We have done it. We've finally done it. Let us know what you think of this game in the comment section below. If you play 30k, let us know what you think of the game in general, and by all means compare the two. There's certainly similarities, there's certainly differences between the two games, and we'll watch with interest to see what happens with this rumoured 3rd edition on the way. Encouraging also to see the spread of amazing plastic kits now available for this range. Great game. Thanks for watching. Tune in next time. And I was also going to say a big thanks to Mitch for coming down, supplying the two armies, putting the scenario together. It's been an interesting and enjoyable encounter for sure. And James will be happy. Ultramarines here, 10,000 years apart from his brethren. They have prevailed here in the desert against the traitor Solar Auxilia. Thanks for watching. Tune in next time.